Welcome back to Brush Country Monsters. In this week's episode, we're on the South Island of New Zealand. We're with River South Safaris, and we're hunting monster red stags. Stay tuned for more Brush Country Monsters.
Big red stags, that is what New Zealand is renowned for.
The red stag is a very unique animal, and I was in one of the finest areas in the world to get my very first red stag.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents Brush Country Monsters.
New Zealand. It's one of those hunting destinations that every hunter in the world needs to try at least once. Mark and Pam Waite, owners of River South Safaris, they're located on the South Island of New Zealand, just outside of a town named Fairlie. Now this area is known for beautiful, picturesque views, but also an abundance of game animals.
This, guys, was the most rewarding, yet the hardest hunt I've ever been on in my life. 4.5 hours to get there for one shot. What a great hunt, what a great experience. I've still got some time left and I'm gonna soak up every bit of it.
Big red stags, that is what New Zealand is renowned for. And we were in perfect, capable hands. Mark and Pam of River South Safaris, one of their specialties is giant red stags. This part of New Zealand, the South Island, is known for growing some of the biggest animals in the world, and Mark and Pam have them. And Lamar was going to be up first on this hunt, so I was excited for him to be able to put his hands on his very first red stag.
Last time you saw me hunt, I was on the side of a mountain, ecstatic over my Himalayan bull tar. It was a tough hunt. Once again, the most rewarding hunt I've ever been on, and challenging, and I got that done, but today was a different day. I was gonna get to go after the red stag. Red stag has always been on my bucket list. I can't wait to get out there. It's gonna be a tough hunt, just like the tar probably. But after the feeling of getting that tar, I couldn't wait to get that feeling again with my very own red stag. Another beautiful morning here on the South Island of New Zealand. We're with River South Safari, having a great time. Today we're after red stag. And if these lungs and these 66-year-old legs will hang out, we're gonna be able to do it. We leave that morning on my very first red stag hunt. We're going to some of River South's private property. It's called Mount Walker. Mark knows this like the back of his hand. And it's a short Polaris drive after we get there. And we get up and up and up and up and up. And the whole time we're doing it in this Polaris, I'm thinking, my life's just gonna get a whole lot easier from yesterday because this Polaris is doing most of the work. But we get to this property, and like I said, Mark knows it like the back of his hand. And as soon as we get in, we start glassing, and that's a good sign. When the guide wants to glass as soon as he gets somewhere, you know there's animals there. Looking for stags in a lot of country. Talk about beauty and big and grandeur and everything that we got in our Rocky Mountains. These things are just massive. The first spot that Mark stopped to glass, it's just breathtakingly beautiful like they all are. And Mark starts to say, well, there's a fallow, there's another fallow. And you start looking and he starts pointing them out, and they are so well blended into this country. And one of the reasons that they blend so well is that they're usually 1.5 miles or 2 miles away. It was fun to watch the fallow interact. The rut was going on. You kind of learn how to spot them, and then you can watch them as they interact with the does, and the bucks chase each other off, and it was all good. But you know, to tell you the truth, I really wasn't interested in shooting a fallow right then. I wanted my red stag, and that's why I was there.
You know, Lamar and I both had planned on taking red stags on this hunt. Lamar was going to be up first, and I could not wait for him to put his hands on his very first red stag.
Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, the most accurate hunting rifles in the world. Yeti Coolers, built for the wild. Safari Club International Foundation, first for wildlife. Hoff Power Auto and Outdoor Stores, over 50 years in Central Texas, and we couldn't have stuck around this long if we were steering you wrong. Chupacabra Rub, shake it, rub it, love it. And Surge Pro, the best yield-enhancing foliar fertilizer on the market. Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue. Swarovski Optique, see the unseen. Burger Bullets, shoot better, shoot burger. Hart Rifle Barrels, unparalleled performance, handcrafted one at a time. And John Burrell's High Adventure Company, the finest collection of big game wing shooting and sport fishing destinations in the world.
The first spot we stopped, and we only saw fallow. We didn't see any red stag. So we put some more miles on the Polaris, and we got to a different area, and we were in some pine trees. Mark stopped the Polaris, and he said, I'm gonna take a short walk. Y'all just stay here. I'm gonna walk over here and see if I can spot some stags. They like the side of this mountain and in this gully. So we waited while Mark went off to do a little scouting for us. I'm kind of settling in to relax a little bit, and as he rounds the corner a little bit, he gets all excited, turns around, comes trotting back and says, get your gun, big red stag, 200 yards. And 200 yards versus 2 miles like we had for the tar, I was all for that. So we got the red stag spotted, and we can't just walk to it and get in position. It's gonna take a little effort to get there without spooking him. We have to kind of side hill a little bit, stay below the crest, and get around and get to a road that is cut around the side of this mountain so we can get in position to have about a 200, 250 yard shot, we think.
Hopefully the wind's just going to come up over the top there. It's not going to be around the corner.
The plan worked to a T. It could not have worked out any better. As we came around the side hill and got on that road, the red stag had no idea we were there. He was still feeding in the sun on the side of this mountain. And as I got kind of belly crawled and stopped and laid down on the road with my rifle barrel over the side, looking down in that canyon, it gave me the perfect opportunity to make a perfect shot with that 300. As soon as I got down on the ground and I was getting position, I was on top of the swagger. I couldn't let the legs out because it was such a steep drop off after that road. And I got settled in, I got it nestled down in there in the rocks. And when that red stag came in that Swarovski, it was crazy. I have never had a red stag in my scope, and this was it. And this was not just any red stag. This was over 400 inches. He was a beautiful, beautiful red stag, and I could not wait to make this shot.
Hold up. He's hurting. He's down. He's down. He's down. Awesome, buddy. Awesome. What a stag.
As I settled back on the rifle after the recoil, I kind of got a glimpse of him staggering just a little bit, but he didn't go 10 feet and he fell right there. I had my red stag.
Awesome, buddy. Awesome. What a stag. What a stag.
This magnificent animal with these huge antlers that seemed like they just went forever. And he had beautiful mass, beautiful crowns, long tines, and he was just huge as well. And I mean, when you stand behind him and you can hold horns out like this and you're still standing, that's a big animal.
I am. I know I'm not supposed to be, but I'm speechless. This is just beyond my wildest dreams.
I had my red stag, and I could not have picked a better one to get for my first one.
Every one of these.
All these are different up
everyone.
here. Yeah.
You'll never shoot to the same.
Yeah.
You'll never shoot to the same. Look how long his tines are, like the seconds here.
Yeah.
Look how long they are. Big ivory tips, beautifully stained up.
It's just crazy.
He's everything that a red stag
This
should
is this exceeds anything I ever thought, anticipated that I would do when I got here.
I had my red stag, I was on a calm, it was great, and the rest of the day, it was just having a good time in South Island, New Zealand.
Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by Big & J Long Range Attractants. The aroma is super strong, the range is super long. Revolution Safe Company, inspired by Pendleton. Rotating gun management made simple. Borden Accuracy, makers of the Rimrock, Alpine, and Timberline custom actions. Swagger, the bipod with moves. And New Breed Archery. No hype, just hunt.
When we got back to the lodge that night, we had a special treat in order. We brought some chupacabra rub all the way from Texas, and what better way to introduce it to Mark and Pam than on fresh red stag steaks. Next morning rolls around, and once again we have an awesome breakfast. Guys, that's the way to start every hunt. A good full breakfast to give you the energy for that hunt. We're riding around Mount Walker again. I'm still after a fallow, an Arapar ram, or a chamois, and Seth is after a stag. So when you have this great property like this is, with all these animals on it, you just ride around and you take the opportunity that's given to you when it is. We stop at this one area and we're glassing for a stag for Seth. And as we're glassing and looking, Seth's kind of behind me on my left shoulder, and he hears a rock and he looks up and he said, "Chamois." And we look up there about 300 yards and there's a chamois standing on this rock.
You got him in the camera?
Yeah, he is right there. He's up now.
There, yeah, I see him.
And we get the spot and scope out. The Swarovski's zoomed in on him, and Mark says, "This is an awesome chamois. You need to take advantage of this." So we were going to take advantage of the opportunity given. So this chamois is not in the best accessible area. We have to do a little work to get there. He's standing on this rock. And in the meantime, with us trying to get in position, he starts to move from left to right. And they can move quick. I mean, they're on rocks, but it's no hesitation for them. They just go. He's on a mission going somewhere. I finally get to where I can lay down.
The 236 Lamar.
And when he stops broadside, Mark checks him one more time. He says, "Take him."
You've hit him.
Coming down.
Good hit. He's coming down, 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 down. He's down. Hey, good job, man. Good job. Awesome, Shammy. Awesome. Well done. Well done, Lamar.
Is there anything that's not straight up or down in this place?
Man, that's called an alpine animal for no reason. Man, two of the toughest animals in New Zealand, the tahr and the chamois, and you did them both on foot. Well done, mate. That is awesome.
I need to get on flat ground, buddy.
Awesome.
Once again, it's another climb in this rocks and it's steep, but I have a chamois on the ground and I can't wait to get up there. Now, guys, you talk about little horns, little animals, but when you get there and you see how beautiful this animal is and what a tough hunt it was to get there and get in position to get him, it's just a gorgeous animal and I couldn't wait to get him back to Texas.
I know when I started here, Alan, I spent a little bit of time back in the reloading room and was just amazed at the number of variations in bullets. Can you give us just a brief rundown?
Well, we love the Berger bullets. That's all we want to shoot, period. And Berger makes basically three types of hunting bullets.
Okay.
They make the VLD, which is the bullet we've been using the longest. It's a seek-in and ogive. We typically have found that this bullet likes to shoot touching the rifling, at 5,000th jam maybe. Great bullet, perfect on game. The Elite Hunter is one of their newest bullets. Hybrid ogive, which is a seek-in and tangent ogive, resulting in a long bullet, real sleek, real high BC, same on-game performance as the other bullets. The Classic is also a hybrid, but it's got a short nose. It's designed to fit in SAMI chambers and standard magazine boxes. So. Between all three of these bullets, anybody shooting a specifically chambered custom rifle to somebody shooting a standard off-the-shelf hunting rifle can find one of these bullets to work for them. And all the bullets work the same. They're all designed to go 3 to 5 inches into the animal and then open up and start wreaking havoc, just creating a huge hydrostatic wound channel, which result in the bang flops that you've seen on BCM over the years. So Berger bullets are great. They're the bang flop bullet. You want more bang flops, give us a call. And that's our on-target tip of the week, brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Man, that's called an alpine animal for no reason. Two of the toughest animals in New Zealand, the tahr and the chamois, and you did them both on foot. Well done, mate. That is awesome.
We get up to this chamois. It takes a little work to get there because nothing in New Zealand's easy to get to, evidently.
There he is, mate. Well,
Thank you, Mark.
that's worth the climb.
Yeah.
Guys, I know it's a small animal, it's got small horns, but he is so unique and so beautiful, and it was not an easy hunt. And when you get a trophy chamois, and I could tell by the excitement of Mark that he said that's one of the best ones he's got, and it's just a gorgeous animal, and I couldn't wait to get him back to Texas. Everything here you earn, and it's just very rewarding. And just the beauty of this thing is it's not big, it's not a monster size, but these
Good hooks.
are good hooks.
Oh,
This is very representative of what you have.
Oh, he's absolutely sorted.
Oh, I can't wait to get him back to Texas. You know, and after the busted fallow hunt, this even makes it that much more rewarding, because when you're out here, you're working, and it's just a awesome treat to be able to do this. I never thought I would get to do it, and I'm happy I got to do it with you. Very much. Thank you very much. I could not have picked a better place to come for my first trip to New Zealand. River South Safaris, perfect operation. You will never want for anything while you're there. You couldn't ask for two nicer people than Mark and Pam. Their food is good, their conversation is good. They genuinely want you to be happy, and Mark will genuinely work to get you a trophy that you can be proud of.
River South Safaris, guys. Mark Wade will take care of you. Trust me, you're watching it, he'll do the same for you.
This trip couldn't have been more perfect. Lamar got to experience the South Island of New Zealand for the very first time. You know, our friends Mark and Pam Waite, they went out of our way to make this an incredible experience. Lamar and Debbie, they both got to go to New Zealand for the very first time. He got to take some incredible trophies. They got to see some of the most beautiful, picturesque places in the world. My wife Jill got to go as well. Folks, I'm telling you, if you have an opportunity to go hunting to the South Island of New Zealand, you owe it to yourself to check out Mark and Pam Waite with River South Safaris. It is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and you will not be disappointed.
Those red stags are some incredible animals, aren't they? Until next week, always remember, keep God and family first.